Welcome back. This will be my third time trying my new self-analysis process. Number one, it's meant to save me time. Number two, it's kind of a hybrid between using stockfish for every move and not using stockfish at all. You'll see what I mean when we get to the game. Hopefully you'll get something out of this too. If not, let's keep in mind that I made this channel for me. This is the game. I am still on my losing streak in rapid games. What I'm going to do is just go forward until the evaluation bar jumps one way or the other in my opponent's favor, which will indicate a mistake on my part. So let's take a look. Okay, I've identified one place in which I apparently made a mistake. Here the evaluation bar only jumped about 1 full point in my opponent's favor, but that's got to be maybe a mistake rather than an inaccuracy. What I played was F6 here, and the bar jumped, giving my opponent like a +1.5 advantage rather than 0.6. I think that's the first point that I saw in which it was greater than +1 or -1. Well, in fact, it's been plus something the whole time. Okay, so I should have played something else here. Maybe A6 to prevent the bishop coming in. Maybe B6 or B6 so I can develop my light squared bishop. Maybe H6, but no. What does H6 do? I guess H6 would prevent the knight or this other bishop from coming in here. I don't really see anything else. My knight's pretty limited on where it can go right now. I guess I could have moved my rook over to E8 so that the knight could go next to my king, and then my knight could get out this way, or maybe I should have played F5. I know sometimes I'm tempted to just play here and see if they take, and then I will take back, but then later I would look and Stockfish would say, you should have just went past it. But I don't understand that because they could still always take. I guess the idea is if they don't take, then you're past it. And if they do take, with en passant, then it's just as if they took when you moved here. Maybe that's what I should have played. But I really don't see anything else. I'm looking all over. So I'm gonna turn on the lines and see what it says. B6. Okay. Or C captures D4. Okay, I didn't even think of that. Or B5. I don't get B5 at all. B5 looks like a free pawn. I don't have anything guarding that square. If I played B5, it says they would take it, but then I would put my bishop here. I don't know about that one. That one's pretty esoteric. Okay, I get this though. I mean, that's one of the reasons for having the C pawn there in the first place, but my D pawn's already gone. If I take this, they're going to take back, right? And then they're going to have two center pawns, and I'm not going to have my D pawn or my C pawn, but they won't have their C or B pawns. Okay, I mean, a simple pawn exchange, I guess that makes sense. I didn't even think of that. But I did think of B6, which is the top move. And it says they would probably play queen to D2 at that point, and then I would, okay, so I did guess right. Okay, well, that's not bad. But that was what I did. What I played here instead was here, just immediately challenging this pawn, and yeah, it took it to +1. It says they should just take it. Now, they didn't in the game. But okay, so that was just barely a mistake according to the engine. But okay, I'm going to turn off the lines again, and then I'm going to keep going and see if there was anything else. Okay, well, I found another spot. Here, my opponent had just moved this rook over and gave me an advantage for the first time in the game. This is -1.1. The engine is still running just a little bit, but -1. I haven't had even a tiny fraction of an advantage until just now. And what I tried to get out of this pin, and what I did was I played queen to B6. I guess the idea was to continue protecting the bishop, but that doesn't make any sense because the pawn is about to take the bishop. So what should I have played instead? Maybe the idea is that I'm about to lose the bishop anyway, so I should lose it with check. And then move the queen out of the attack from the rook. That's one idea. I don't think it would have made any sense to take this pawn because then they would have taken my queen and I would have taken back. Wait, I'm up a whole piece here though. I'm up a whole piece right now. According to you can't see it on your screen, but the little numbers down there that says I'm up a bishop. Okay, so I shouldn't worry about this then. But I should worry about this. So yeah, so maybe I should have checked first, taken an extra pawn out with the bishop, and then moved my queen. I'm going to guess that's what it was. Turn on the lines. Yeah, okay. I guessed it right. I would have maintained an advantage had I taken there. Okay, I might be getting a little better at this, or maybe the positions in this game are more straightforward than the positions in the other game. Here, I did have plenty of time left. Move 17. I've still got 7 minutes. I had time to figure that out, that I am up a piece. I'm about to lose the bishop anyway. Might as well take another pawn out with me, and then once they take back, however they take back, king or queen on f2, then I can move my queen to c7, it says. Okay. All right, let's see if there was anything else. Okay, found another spot. Moving this pawn forward, it took it from +1 something to +2 something, so that probably counts as a mistake. So take this back. Their queen has just moved over here, and it's +1 point. It's getting close to +2, so maybe that is just an inaccuracy. Okay, but it did jump at that point. What should I have done here instead of moving that pawn? Should I have moved this pawn? I think maybe because this bishop's still not developed. My light squared bishop is still stuck on the back rank. And they have lined up, their last move, queen move, has lined up this battery against this pawn, which I do have 2 defenses on, or defenders on, but then, I don't know. If they take, I'm gonna take what they're not gonna take. So but it would give me the opportunity to develop my light squared bishop. But right now my light squared, okay, that's one of the problems, is my light squared bishop is doing double duty. It's guarding both of those pawns. And my queen is also guarding both of those pawns, but maybe they're trying to do something here, but I've already moved my king off of this diagonal. That's one thing I wouldn't have seen in some other games. They've lined their queen and bishop up here, but I have moved my king off of that diagonal. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess b6 here, and I'm going to turn on the lines. No, it was a5. I was way off. a5 rather than a6. I don't know what the big difference is. The reason I played a6 was to keep the bishop from coming right here, which is what I thought they might be planning. But then, I mean, I don't know if they had done that, what would I have done? But what would a5 do? It says they would just bring their bishop back or play d5. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about d5 as well, because if I took, they would take back, and both their rook and queen would be protecting that square. Or they would go here, which, oh, now that's their top move. Yeah. Okay, so a5 would have been almost as bad as a6, because it's +2. If we go back and I play a6, okay, well, that's 2 plus 2.6, 2.9. Okay, so a5 was a little bit better, but they would still go there. So maybe I was already lost at this point. Let's see if there was anything else. Okay, we found another place at which I apparently made a mistake. My opponent had just moved that bishop away from my little pawn chain, because my plan was working. They moved their bishop back, but apparently they should have moved it back further. But they moved it back to d3, and that was a mistake, and now the evaluation is dead even at zeros. And I thought, they're attacking me. They've just discovered this attack on my queen. Maybe it's time for a queen trade, where even on material, since I didn't pick up that extra pawn with my bishop earlier like I could have, and I thought if they traded, I would have a passed pawn. No, that wouldn't be passed. They would have a passed pawn. Oh, wow. Maybe that's why that was a bad idea. I was giving them a passed pawn. But what should I have played instead? Should I have finally gotten my bishop out? No, because then they would have taken my queen. I should have moved my queen somewhere, but just not there. Should I have just dropped it back one? Or here? I'm guessing I should have dropped it back to one of those 2 squares, either d7 or b7. I like b7 a little better because that continues pointing toward the king, whereas this points at an undefended pawn. So, okay, I'm going to go with d7 then. Let's turn on the lines. d7, okay, I guessed it. That would have maintained equality, but instead I played there, and that took them to +2. Okay, let's see if there are any more. I'm going to turn off the lines and keep going. Okay, there was another one. Me completing this pawn chain here took us from 1 point something to 2 point something. So let's back up. 1.6, 1.5 or so, 1.6. Okay, they've just lined up a battery here. I didn't want to take because that could either get them in here or create a passed pawn. Although that would have created a passed pawn for me too. But they didn't have to take with the pawn. They could have just as easily taken with the rook. Then their rook could have stepped down one more square and be hitting both my a pawn and my bishop. And my bishop is the only thing blockading their 2 pawns here in the center. Well, that one specifically. So, but maybe that's what I should have done instead of playing here. I don't see anything else, so I'm going to guess it was capturing the rook on c5, turn on the lines. No, it was king to g8, or rook f to d8, or that. Okay, that's my third best move. I don't know what king to g8 does. Right now, my king is guarding both of those pawns. I guess king to g8 would protect this rook in case these rooks got taken. That's one thing. But right now, I mean, that rook is protected twice. But maybe they weren't going to take the rook. Oh, I just realized that. Maybe they were going to slip right in here. Is that what they played? That's not what they played. But yeah, maybe they were going to slip right there, hitting both of these. And then if I took, they would take back and they would have their other rook sitting right there, ready to take both of, attacking both of those squares. Okay. I guess I kind of understand that, but I thought my plan made sense too, because then my bishop and rook wouldn't have to keep defending that pawn. I could just worry about this pawn over here. But apparently that was a mistake. Okay, wow, that's what, 3 or 4 now. Let's see if there was anything else. Okay, well, we did trade rooks here, and it's plus 2.6. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I did turn off the lines. Good. Okay, but then when I moved this rook over here, thinking I would trade off the rest of the rooks, that was a mistake. So, because it went to plus 3.5 or something. So what should I have done here? Moved my king up or king over? I thought they were about to come down, so that's why I came over here. What should I have played instead? This to protect the bishop? Or should I have... No, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm just going to click on it and see what it says. Rook to d8. What would that have done? What? Because then they're still going to do this and fork my pawn and my bishop. And it says that's what they would do. They would... If I played rook to d8, they would still play rook to c6, and then I would bring this... Oh, the bishop. The bishop would protect that pawn. Protected by the rook. Oh, wow. But then wouldn't they start marching this thing forward? And then I guess I would have to go back with the rook to get in front of it. Well, then, so why shouldn't I just play rook e8 in the first place, and then when they came down? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Well... We saw in the first couple of spots here, I did guess correctly what I should have done, or at least within the right range. And at that point, let's go back to the one point where, right there, when they played over here, okay, yeah, this is where I had an advantage. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me now, especially realizing that I'm up a bishop. All the knights are gone, and I have 2 bishops. And I know I'm about to lose this one, but when I do, we're going to be even. But if I take this first, they have to take back one way or the other. Then I could move my queen. And the computer said here, but I don't know. I might have gone there. I guess the reason not to go to b6 is because they could just move their rook over. So c7 makes sense. c7 would be pointing at the undefended pawn. Okay. So take there with check first and then move here. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. I'm going to keep trying this method because it seems to be helping more than taking 20 minutes going through move by move and finding nothing or finding the wrong things and then going back through with Stockfish and finding out I was wrong the whole time. And this also seems to be working a little bit better than going through move by move with Stockfish and seeing if I played the top engine move or whatever, or the game review, which doesn't run at a higher depth or at a very high depth. So I'm going to keep trying this, and hopefully you'll stick with me. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.